Despite being one of the world's fastest growing digital economies.
Although India is the sixth largest economy in the world and its influence on global markets is rising rapidly,
India still imports nearly 95%. You heard it right, 95%. Most of us will never see a chip in our lives. But we live in a world that runs on chips. Chips are to technology what fuel is to cars. These chips are built using semiconductors. Now you must be wondering what a semiconductor is. Whoever controls chip supply may control the future economy. For investors, this is worth paying attention to. Not because semiconductors guarantee returns. The semiconductor race won't be won in a year. It will be a race for decades. But India witnessed one of its biggest semiconductor partnerships in May 2026. During Prime Minister Modi's visit to the Netherlands, Tata Electronics signed a partnership with ASML for its upcoming 91,000 crore semiconductor plant in Dholera, Gujarat. Now, that may not sound like headline news, but ASML is no ordinary company. In fact, it is the only company in the world capable of manufacturing the extreme ultraviolet lithography machines required to produce the world's most advanced chips. Now here's what makes that remarkable. Most of us will never see a chip in our lives, but we live in a world that runs on chips. From smartphone to UPI payment to AI tools to data centers, literally everything. These chips are built using semiconductors. Now you must be wondering what a semiconductor is. A semiconductor is a special material that helps control the flow of electricity. And by controlling electricity, it allows chips to process information, store data, and perform tasks. Think of it in this way. Just as the human brain helps us think, learn, and make decisions, semiconductor chips help machines do the same. And today, they're quietly powering almost every aspect of modern life. The global semiconductor market is worth over $790 billion. And India is also becoming a significant consumer of semiconductors. This market is already valued at about 45 to 50 billion and is projected to reach around 147 billion by 2032. The answer to this lies in a lesson the world learned during the pandemic. When COVID disrupted global supply chains, industries from automobiles to consumer electronics faced extreme chip shortages. Production lines slowed, deliveries were delayed due to this, but the disruption exposed a much larger reality. While semiconductors power almost every modern technology, the ability to manufacture advanced chips is concentrated among a small number of companies and regions. And that's a risk no major economy wants to live with. As a result, semiconductors have moved from being a business priority to a national priority. The story is in the numbers and the race is already in motion. The US has attracted over 500 billion in semiconductor investments. Europe has committed over 100 billion euros. Japan is targeting 15 trillion yen in the chip sales by 2030. And China is also investing heavily to build domestic semiconductor capabilities. Now, the question is, why are countries willing to spend so much on chips? Because chips sit at the heart of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, electric vehicles, and literally every technology, both new and old. Chips are to technology what fuel is to cars. Whoever controls chip supply may control the future economy. That's also why many experts now describe semiconductors as a strategic resource of the digital age. Listen to what our Honorable Prime Minister is saying.
Oil was black gold, but chips are digital diamonds.
According to him, oil shaped the previous century, but the power of the 21st century lies in the chip. Our journey began late, but nothing can stop it now. Despite being one of the world's fastest growing digital economies, India still imports nearly 95%. You heard it right, 95% of its semiconductor requirements from countries such as Taiwan, China, South Korea, and Singapore. India's ambitions are growing rapidly. We are looking to lead electric vehicles, strengthen defense capabilities, and build AI infrastructure. But each of them need more computing power, more electronics, and ultimately more semiconductor chips. Under the India AI mission, the government originally targeted 10,000 GPUs, but today more than 38,000 GPUs have already been deployed. Similarly, India's data center capacity is expected to grow from around 1.5 gigawatt today to nearly 9 gigawatts by 2030. But here's the interesting part. India is not trying to jump directly to the world's most advanced chips. Instead, its first semiconductor fabs are expected to focus on mature node chips, such as 28 nanometer and above. They are the backbone of automobiles, industrial equipment, consumer electronics, telecommunications infrastructure, and defense systems. In other words, India is starting where demand is already large, proven, and growing. The objective is not just to manufacture chips, it is to gradually build the capabilities, talent, supply chains, and ecosystem required to become a serious player in the global semiconductor industry. Of course, having an ambition is one thing, building an ecosystem is another. And that's where India has started accelerating by launching the India Semiconductor Mission. The goal is simple: attract investment, build domestic capability, and create a foundation for a long-term semiconductor industry. And the first signs of that transformation are already visible. We discussed Gujarat's Dholera project, where Tata Electronics is building India's first commercial semiconductor fabrication facility. At the same time, Micron Technologies' $2.75 billion facility in Sanand and around $1 billion CG Power Renesas OSAT project are also laying the foundation for India. Taken individually, these projects may look like isolated investments, but together they signal something much bigger. India is not just trying to manufacture chips, it is attempting to build an entire semiconductor ecosystem, from design and fabrication to packaging and advanced manufacturing capabilities. If India succeeds in building a strong semiconductor ecosystem, the benefits won't be limited to chip manufacturing factories alone. By 2029, India aims to design and manufacture chips for 70 to 75% of its domestic applications. Semiconductor manufacturing requires a vast network of suppliers providing equipment, specialty chemicals, industrial gases, precision engineering components, clean room infrastructure, logistics, power systems, and advanced manufacturing services. That means growth in semiconductors can drive demand across multiple industries, and that's already reflected in the government's long-term vision. Industry estimates suggest that India's semiconductor ecosystem could create nearly 20 lakh jobs by 2035. Interestingly, these jobs won't be concentrated in just one area. Around 30% are expected to come from manufacturing, another 30% from chip design and engineering services. According to the data from the US Semiconductor Industry Association, or SIA, every direct job created in the semiconductor sector supports approximately 5.7 additional jobs across the wider economy. There is also a strategic dimension to this story. A strong semiconductor ecosystem can strengthen defense capabilities, reduce import dependence, and enhance India's technological self-reliance. We have to understand that India's challenge is no longer attracting investment. It is building the talent needed to convert investment into execution. Industry estimates suggest India could face a shortage of nearly 3 lakh semiconductor professionals by 2027. Because semiconductor leadership isn't built by capital alone. It requires engineers, researchers, technicians, supply chain specialists, and more. But then, there are encouraging signs. Global players are beginning to take India's ambitions seriously. For example, the Tata ASML partnership is more than a business agreement. It is a signal that India is becoming part of the global semiconductor value chain. For investors, this is worth paying attention to. Not because semiconductors guarantee returns, but because transformational industries often create ripple effects across multiple sectors. The semiconductor race won't be won in a year. It will be a race for decades. But the countries that invest in these capabilities today will be better positioned to shape the technologies, industries, and economies of tomorrow. And for India, that journey has already begun. Till then, stay smart, stay invested.